Here we are out on another job. This is actually one of our fields, or well, we call it our field. It got these sprinklers out here. Let me see if I can get up. You look around this rig, see how tall that grass is right there? Well, I'm going to show you in a minute the hay mower we used and the problems we encounter. You can see here, see how that's, come on camera, come on, there you go. See how that's all kind of wadded up there and there's like a blank space in there? That stuff's real tough and real ropey. This is actually a jigs field, which is in the Bermuda grass family, and it's pretty good stuff for horses when you cut it young. This here's been here about a year. This field got really wet, got underwater, couldn't do nothing with it for a long time, and of course it's finally now, this time of the year, it dries out enough we can do something with it. So I've come in here and mowed it all down. And I had some issues yesterday, and I'm just going to pass my findings on along with everybody else. And if you've had some of the same issues, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you've experienced, how you deal with it, what your thoughts and concerns are. I'm down in South Florida, and we have totally different conditions here than everybody else has up north. And we grow different grasses here. We don't do well with alfalfa and some of the other grasses they grow up in North Florida and up in the north. Just don't do well down here because of our humidity and moisture. So I'll take you up there and let you show you the mower that we used and explain the problems we have. Be right back. Okay, we're back. This is the mower that I used right here. It's a Kuhn, as you can see. It's a 303GC. I've had this mower for years, bought it brand new. I would guess to say it's probably between 8 and 10 years old. It's a good mower. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm very impressed with it, but let me show you something here. You see under here, this is what they call a impella machine or a flail machine. It has these fingers. Let me climb under here, so bear with me. Bonk my head on everything. It has these fingers right here. And what they do is they turn really, really fast. I guess it'd be this way. And it brings the material up through here and then out the back. And this is what it literally, it's like little baseball bats. They're real heavy, and it beats the grass, breaks it up, breaks the stems up, so it helps condition it so it dries quicker. But I'm gonna tell you, in long, ropey, stringy material that's really tough, and I'm gonna show you some of the material, that is a nightmare. Because what happens is the grass gets hung in here, the long, runny, ropey stuff gets hung in here. It doesn't, when it comes around, it doesn't turn loose where it comes out the back. It comes around and goes right back around that way, and the next thing you know, this whole thing will be one big, solid, circular ball of nothing but grass. And let me get out from under here. And I'm going to tell you, when it does that, these two belts right here, you can see how this one is down in the groove more than this one. It doesn't fare out so well. These right here, I call it smoking the belts. Them impellers will get clogged up and they won't turn, and this belt will skate on this. And I don't know if you can see down in there or not, but that belt's burnt pretty bad. I'm gonna have to replace both of them, and you got to replace both of them. When you take one off, you might as well put them both new on there, because otherwise you're kind of backing up. So let's go out here and look. This is part of what I got out of there, and you got to crawl under there with an axe or a hatchet or something and cut it loose. And you can see, and I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that this stuff is almost, I mean, I'm standing on it, my shoes are wet, but it is tough. It is literally like rope. And you can see here's another pile that I had to come and chop. And I got it chopped in half, and usually if you can cut it in half and turn the mower on at idle, there's another wad over there, it will spin it enough at a low speed that it kind of breaks it up and spits it out. But it's a nightmare. It truly is. So, you know, that's there. This stuff is not the Jigs Bermuda grass. That is a star grass that has encroached and come up around them sprinkler heads out there, because it likes dry sandy soil, and it gets pretty dry and sandy. They don't run them sprinklers very often, but when they do, then they get it saturated wet, and then it makes a mat. This is our other mower here. It's the same basic mower as that one. This one here just has rollers in it, and this one has the fingers or the impella in it. And I'll show you this one with the rollers. This one is a good machine, but they've got an issue with their rubber on their rolls. You can see right over here on the sides, see how the rubber's all coming loose? You can see that bottom roller has hardly any rubber. It is almost all come off. And so I don't know what we're going to do. We're probably going to just keep running it until it all comes apart, and then weld bars on there or what have you, trying to make it, you know, just try to salvage it, because these things are pretty expensive. You know, it ain't like you can run right out and buy a brand new one. And we do have another one. We have this one here that we've been mowing out here with, and that you've seen me in other videos mow with, our John Deere 830. And the other thing with this Impella machine that I think's vital is that I've been using this loader tractor of ours, this John Deere 7130, and it's a 4-cylinder engine. Now, John Deere's claim to fame is, or claim to fame, or however you put that, is that this 6-cylinder tractor and this 4-cylinder tractor are supposed to have the same amount of horsepower. They're supposed to be the equal tractor. This is an older tractor, 6615. We've had it probably 8 or 10 years, and it's a good tractor. We got two of these. We got a 2-wheel drive over there, and then this 4-wheel drive. And this thing here is like a beast. I mean, if one of these hay mowers stalls that, then you know you're in serious trouble. But this thing here has no pull-through power. That little 4-cylinder engine's good for a loader tractor and doing light work. But when you put a load on it, it don't take much to stall it down before you're in trouble. It just doesn't recuperate as fast, and it's kind of like a ball. You take a ball with a lot of air, it bounces back real quick. You take a ball with hardly any air and it just kind of flop. You know, it doesn't really bounce back. It's kind of that same scenario. So, anybody else have that problem with this Impella machine or a Impella machine? I know there's a bunch of them out there. Let me know. I'd be interested in hearing what other comments and suggestions people may have. Thanks for taking the time to watch this, and I hope everybody has a good day. Stay blessed.